I get goosebumps or the frissons talking about it.
Welcome to the Community Spotlight, brought to you by WCC Furniture and Mattress Center. I have with me an author, illustrator. What are the other things here?
I have a TikTok.
Influencer.
I'm an influencer. I do social media for businesses.
Okay, all right. So
all the stuff.
This right here is Claudia Crawfish or Tanya Ardoin. Tanya, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we're going to talk about your books. That's
Okay.
what I really like to talk about. So first off, let's talk about, tell us what they are and
Okay.
kind of how they got started. Just give us a little summary here and we'll kind of go into more depth.
My parents both spoke French fluently. They were first language French, and my mom passed away. Broke my heart that I did not have her on camera, and so I started recording my grandpa, especially after he got sick, after she passed. And my dad also speaks French, so started recording him, put it on TikTok, and didn't realize everybody was hungry for it.
Right.
And it blew up. So
you did all this because you're trying to preserve the language
Yes.
of our Cajun culture.
yes, one word at a time. I'm never going to claim to be as fluent as my parents or other people out there, but I am taking immersive lessons. I only let my dad speak French to me,
Yeah.
and just trying to pass it on.
So I think everybody in South Louisiana, they either have parents or grandparents who spoke French or mostly French, I would say in some cases. For you specifically, your parents both spoke French. Did they speak mostly French in the home, or was it mostly English in the home?
It was mostly English at home because both of my parents were of the day where they were punished, sent home for speaking French.
Right.
And my dad thought it was actually going to hinder us in the future if we learned French.
Right.
Apparently, I don't remember this, but I was fluent with my grandparents, and then they passed away when I was young. So I lost it, joined the military, didn't think about it. And like I said, as my family started getting older, I really got passionate about it and started relearning.
Right. So as we get older, we start to think, oh gosh, we don't want to lose our culture. We don't want to lose our language. So we get probably a little bit more sentimental. But it's crazy. My almost 17-year-old daughter, she's taken a lot more interest in the Cajun culture, which is
Awesome.
really good for me.
Yes.
I really like seeing that. But I think what you're doing is really helping to get those younger kids asking those questions.
Yes.
So tell us what books you have. Tell
Okay.
us a little bit about it, and so that way we can have an idea of how you started, where you're going, and what you see in the future.
Okay. So my first book is Crawville,
Okay.
and that name came about because my cousin and I were playing in the front yard. We collected crawfish houses, and we named a town Crawville, and she became the mayor of Crawville.
I'm sure a lot of people know what a crawfish house is, but could you describe that for us?
So it's little balls of dirt that they build up, and it looks like a little chimney.
That's
and that they're pushing out the dirt so that they can make all these channels underground.
Oh, wow. Okay. So y'all are playing in the yard.
Uh-huh.
Y'all are collecting all these mounds or crawfish. What do you call them?
I call them crawfish houses.
Crawfish house. Okay, let's go with that. So you're collecting these crawfish houses. So tell me after that, what happened?
This is kind of when I lost my mom, and so I was like, I have something here, and I've always wanted to be a children's author. So I just married those together, and I just started making notes and kind of sketching out a character. And the Crawville came about, and I just thought, okay, did it great, but everybody loved it, and I get goosebumps or the frissons talking about it. And my grandpa passed away, and I got to thinking about French lessons on the front porch that he had with the younger cousins. And I thought, I have a character already. Why not roll into a second book? So it's, it's real simple, but it's a way to introduce a few words, and also it opens up the conversation as to why we lost our language.
That's right. Which one was the first book?
So Crawville is the first book, and I sketched out some crawfish, and not gonna lie, I slipped it into AI to polish the character, and it came up with this, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love it so much. And then once this one was popular and I rolled into the second book, I decided I wanted to hand draw. So I came up, I don't know how many grandpas or papas I came up with, And I kept sending it to my cousins to see, what do you think? What do you think? And when I landed on this sketch, this was the winner. So my papa always had on a straw hat. He always had on a plaid shirt and his blue pen in his pocket.
He had an ink pen in the front, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah.
So, and there's a dedication page to him inside, and you can compare and see how I did.
So you were really close to your grandfather.
I was really close to my papa, especially later in his life, because I joined the military. And when I tell you, I thought I was leaving Louisiana not to look back. That kind of thing. I would come and visit every now and again. But then whenever you start spending time with these people and you realize their knowledge and their history and what they went through, they had some hard lives.
They really did.
And so I fell in love with my papa at an old age.
Right. That's great. It's so funny. A lot of times the further we go away, the closer we want to come back home.
Yes.
So it sounds like that happened to you too. So,
yes.
Okay. So, so you want to tell us a little bit about, so you told us a little bit about that one. You want to tell us a little bit about this one?
Sure. I feel like I need to hold it.
Okay, sure. Please do.
This right here, Crawville, A Day with Oclaw. First of all, I feel like I need to explain the name.
Okay.
So he was my papa, but the younger kids in the family called him Opa. Okay. And I was like, that's just simple, Oclaw. Yeah. So this is about Claudie and Oclaw and the moments they really had on the front porch in Church Point.
Oh, nice.
He taught her French, and I recorded it all. So things that are in this book actually happened.
Oh, wow.
So it's not just my imagination. I'm not that great.
Nice.
So anyway, just a quick synopsis of this. It talks about, you better get up, Shy. Hurry up, drink your coffee milk because Oclaw is waiting.
That's right. And
then there's a part in here that I absolutely love where in real life, she said, well, how you say truck? And he said, me truck. Right. So, I mean, there's a little bit of humor in here, and then it gets a little serious, and it kind of talks about how we are losing our language. And I felt like I just needed to open the door so that if someone was actually interested, they could start asking questions. Right. But we don't need to get into all of that with a children's book.
Now, what's so cool about this though is all these things that you're telling me about the book, I'm like, gosh, I grew up in Church Point, we grew up in the same hometown. And I remember all those conversations. There would be French, and then say truck. And then and then my dad would call everybody Sha. Or there was so many words that this is bringing up all those memories.
Yes.
And so, I think it's good for people to learn, but it's good for people like me to be like, oh gosh, that just reminds me of my dad, reminds me of my grandfather. So
it's really close to my heart. I try to not choke up every time I talk about it. And it's just one of those things I'm really passionate about.
When you started talking about it, I was getting the frissons.
Me too.
I really was. And if you don't know what frissons is, that's kind of like the goosebumps, like you kind of feel like, oh wow, that was emotional, so yes. Yeah, it really did.
Yes. And this is not the end. I have so many ideas of my Papa Whitney. And I feel like my daddy needs to be pulled into it because a lot of people that follow me on social media, they're familiar with my daddy and his French, and he's helping me to learn better. And so I'm trying to figure out a character for my daddy, and I keep saying, you want to be a pelican? Man, no.
Right.
You want to be a turtle? Man, no. That's the slowest thing in the swamp, So those are the conversations that we're having, and I'm just trying to figure it out. And I told him I was going to make him a roly-poly. And
well, there you go. Now, so how is developing all these characters and doing this book brought your relationship with your dad? Has it gotten y'all a lot closer?
Oh, so much closer. We're actually going to be in a little Cajun themed movie. And
really?
Yes, so he was in front of the camera, and it's just one of those things that my dad was just like, that was so exciting. I wish I could do it again now that I'm not nervous.
Oh, wow. That's so cool.
So we're going to do all these adventures together.
So is that something you can talk about in the movie, or is that kind of hush-hush? You sign the NDA and all that, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Because it's going to be this big motion. No,
okay.
it's a local producer that's always had the dream to do a movie, kind of like I've always had a dream to write a children's book.
Right.
And it's just about Louisiana culture. It's horror and comedy. So we were on a houseboat in the Atchafalaya on the back porch drinking coffee, and he was teaching me French.
Oh, wow.
So yeah,
So
that's
it's
just our
pretty much
little
a
part.
real life situation.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
That's great. That is
So-
really great. Besides the books, you have coloring books, which I think these are super cool. So
Thank
you want to tell
you.
us about that?
Sure. Here, I'll give you that. I'll let you take it back. So I just thought people like to color. I like to color. I'm creative. I don't know if other adults or if that's just weird that I do, but I decided coloring books would also help kids want to learn by them doing an activity.
Yeah.
So I did a children's version, and it's called Color with Claudia and Friends While Learning Cajun French. And then there are cute, simple
Oh, yeah.
animals. And yep. And then it has the phonetic spelling on the bottom. So if mom and daddy doesn't know, they can just sound it out.
Okay.
So the front has animals, and the back of the book for both of them teach colors.
Nice. So you know what I whenever you're talking about this right here, I see that there's families getting together to do things, which is kind of like what you and your dad are doing.
Yes.
So really, if you get a book like this, it's just a family activity, which we're all looking for things to reconnect, get off of our devices and everything. So
Yes.
this is a great addition for that. So
Exactly. And if you're purchasing this for your littles, then maybe pick up the adult style, because this is
Yes.
more complicated and it's page for page. So, you know, the page that the chicken is on for the adult page, it's on for the kids page. And so y'all can do it in order.
Oh, nice. Very,
Especially
very nice.
for those homeschoolers.
You know what? All these things, Christmas is coming around the corner.
Yes.
I think all of these would make super good stocking stuffers, or, we all get gifts for our nieces and nephews. These would make some great gifts. Wow. You have these, plus you have the coloring books.
Yes.
So how can we get them?
Simple. Just go to my website, www.tanyaardoin.com.
TanyaArdoin.com. So go and get these books. Make super great stocking stuffers. Give them to your nieces and nephews. Let's spread the word for the Cajun language, Cajun culture. We don't want it to die. We don't want to. This brings up such great memories for us. We both grew up in the same hometown. So check them out. We're going to put a link to her website on our Facebook page, and you'll be able to get them from there. Any last words?
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm glad you came. Thanks for watching the Community Spotlight, brought to you by WCC Furniture and Mattress Center. If you're interested in being on this segment, please email me, Larry@WCCFurniture.com, or you can reach out to us within this platform.